All right, trade recap on how I lost twice today and missed out on a banger. Um, took the entry around here, got stop rated. Took the re-entry, got stop rated again, and as you know, I do not take more than two trades. If I lose two trades, I'm done for the day. Okay. If I take one trade and I win, I'm done for the day. All right, two trades. It's the max I'm willing to take if I lose. So did not take the third trade, and the third trade ended up being a charm, and we delivered right where we wanted to, and which is really unfortunate. You know, it's like when the bias and everything, the idea is correct. It's just shit happens, bro. You can't really do much about it. It was there's really not much of I mean, there's a reason as to why we lost, but there wasn't any way to avoid it, at least for the first entry. So let's just go ahead and get right into it. Enough yapping. All right, where is 9 o'clock? Right here. Starting off on the 4 hour. Okay, so we have a 4 hour unmitigated gap here. That's one of the first things I see. We have a high up here. We have a massive fair value gap right there. Unmitigated down here, but this is obviously out of reach if we check that. That's literally 320 points away. Not worried about that. So the main level here would be this, because we have this 4 hour order block and this 4 hour unmitigated gap right in between this. So that's a level I'm looking at. This high as well. We did have an SMT with that high. Don't really care too much from it because if we look, we are currently delivering from. Where are we? There we go. We are currently delivering from this new week opening gap getting filled completely. And let me just look at this delivery right after we fill this. We get CISD, inverse, retrace into a fair value gap, inverse this gap again. It's very clear to me that we. Why can I. What the fuck? What the fuck, bro? Hold on, let me reset this. There we go. My thing was tripping, bro. I don't know what was happening. Okay, back on the hourly. Yeah, that hourly gap. Just overall bullish structure. It's clear to me that we. Okay. You stupid piece of shit. There we go. It's clear to me that we want to deliver towards this high. So that's our main objective for the day. Even though we have this SMT here, the reason why I'm not bearish is because, I mean, look, we've been in this gap multiple times. We don't know when we're truly going to reject off this. We did here to fill this gap, and then we push back up. But, I mean, we are almost at the very beginning of this gap. And look at these candles that are forming. You know, it's very unlikely that we're just going to reject off of here. So what seems more likely for us to do is us coming up to this more premium hourly gap, and then I can expect some rejection from there. But as of right now, this gap means nothing to me personally. I mean, we've been in this gap for the entirety of this current week, so it really doesn't hold anything too valuable for me. With that said and done, let's go ahead and get to the 15-minute and then jump into the trade recap. So we have London lows, which is also that 4-hour low. You have this unmitigated 15-minute. Let me show that because it looks very tiny. There's that unmitigated 15-minute. Unmitigated 15-minute. We have some very low resistance relatively equal lows on this 5-minute. Also, just a nice generated liquidity pool. I mean, look at this consolidation on the 1-minute. That's beautiful. We also have this 15-minute, which we already got tapped into. And I love unmitigated gaps. Don't really pay too much mind to these. Yeah, look for 5 or 15-minute retrace. You know, sweep with this liquidity would be very nice because we have a 5-minute gap, and then we also have a 15-minute right there. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna be looking for coming to the market open. So we dump market open. Okay, we take this this sell side out within that 5 and 15-minute, and I'm gonna have to go back here. So once we take that out, we have this 1-minute gap that I'm gonna be looking to get inverse. And if we, before we check that, let's check, yes. So we close inside of this 15-minute, so obviously we're showing that we're rejecting off of that right there. On the 5-minute, we close inside this 5-minute, taking out liquidity as well. And we don't really give much of an entry model. We have an SMT here. What the fuck is going on? There we go. SMT there. SMT here. This 1 minute, I don't think we had anything else. Let me see. Let me check the 2-minute. Yeah, nothing else. Entry, literally just off this gap. That's it. Nothing much else to it. We had great key level getting hit. Break even. Okay, it would be at this intermediate high, but if you think about it, here's the fair value gap that we tapped into not once, not twice, but 3 times, and we rejected off of it. So this gap obviously holds some pretty big value. And so instead of, if we are bearish and I'm wrong about this trade, it's likely that this high will not get taken because it is protected. We swept another high. We also are rejecting off this gap. So it's better to go break even off this gap getting tapped because the probabilities of us taking this high out are going to be, much lower. So aiming towards high of day, and then ultimately that high time frame high I had marked out earlier. We have a nice set of equal highs right here. 1, 2, 2 sets. Good draw, good entry model, good key level getting tapped, everything aligned perfectly, and then of course we got stopped immediately. Okay, and at this point we formed another SMT right there, and then we have a very, very clean, crazy delivery type of candle. Look at this, bro. This is insane. Inversing this new gap that got formed. It wasn't even an old gap, it was a new gap that we formed, got inversed. Slightly less RR, but still very solid. To me, I like this entry better just because this one didn't even close. Didn't have that much of a great close. Like if you look at this from where I'm standing, you can't even tell it got inversed. Like you really have to check. So this one definitely had a better. I like the price action here on this candle the most. Break even at this swing high. And then we just get stop rated again. Okay, and at this point in time, here is when the true setup happened, right? We not only did we resweep, but we tapped into this unmitigated 15-minute SMT at that 15-minute right there. Wait, was it? I was looking at the wrong thing. Okay, we don't even have it in 15-minute right there. Never mind. Scratch that. Forget what I said. But yeah, we basically tap into that 15-minute sweeping, that very good pool of liquidity right there, and we have a nice 1-minute gap. So I'm gonna go ahead and erase this, and boom, dude, look at that delivery. That was even better than right over here. Break even, same thing at this high that we had previously. Again, slightly even worse RR than the other trade. This one was like around, I don't remember, but this one was like a 1.3, I think, and now it is reduced to a 1.1. I mean, yes, you could put your stops here, but right here is reasonable at this body open right here. Very reasonable. 1.6 R, that's perfect. But we'll just put it there. Break even here, and yeah, this one did end up playing out. Very unfortunate, pretty annoying. Get stop rated not once but twice, and then the final, like the third time, is the time we actually deliver. Very, very annoying. Very unfortunate, but it's whatever. Shit like that happens. Hopefully we can make up for it tomorrow. This loss actually, we blew one of the live accounts, but I mean, I'm not tripping too much because it was strictly because of risk management, and it was a trade evade account, and the ratio from minis to micros is horrible, bro. It's a 1-to-1 ratio, so I can't even risk exactly how much I want. So that makes me miss out on a lot of trades. So I basically had this account just, I can't even trade it most of the time. So I was like, fuck it. I'm just gonna go in a full mini. I don't care anymore. I still have the Top Step X live account, so those accounts are way better just because of that 1 to 50 micro ratio, or 1 to 10 micro mini to micro ratio. So I mean, not tripping too much about that. Of course, I wouldn't have stupid risk management on the accounts where I can actually manage my risk. This one, I literally cannot manage my risk, bro. I have to stay out of so many trades because it's either I risk too much or I risk too little, and there's no in between. I can't do anything about it because of the risk size bullshit, whatever. But yeah, that's that. Not really much else, I guess. Right here, when this did, the only thing I can really take from this was a very solid loss. We'll take this 100 times out of 100 again. The second entry, still pretty solid. I liked it, but I definitely could have waited for, seeing that we didn't deliver obviously from this low, and we had a resweep. I could have definitely waited for this to get swept before I looked for another long, and that would have been the play. But this one was still pretty solid. I liked it. We still put the SMT in and everything. Just didn't play out. It's just unfortunate. It's just, shit happens. But yeah, we came back down here, gave the entry, then ended up going up here. And let's actually see before I end this, because I'm kind of yapping right now. I'm gonna hurry up and end this shit. Dang, right when we swept that, we deliver all the way down here. This is a crazy liquidity sweep. That's probably like where we are right now. How do I end this? It's already ended. Okay. I have to check ES. Yeah, so ES tapped that hourly gap, and dang, we rejected perfectly off that. That was a crazy calm. But yeah, this gap really insignificant until we tap this gap. Then we can look for rejection, as I said before. And bro, we had a generational sweep right here. This is beautiful. Look at this, slowly grinding up, and then within 2 candles, 3 candles, whatever, you just take all of that shit out. That's crazy. Yeah, that's the recap for the day. 2 L's and 0 wins. Yeah, just pretty unfortunate. Not much else you can do about it. We stuck to the rules, didn't overtrade. We took 2 L's and we just didn't trade. I still stayed on the markets for this, just to see it play out. Just me personally stayed out of entering any positions. Do I regret not entering into this trade? No. Do I feel crazy FOMO? Yes. Okay, I really wanted to enter this trade. It just looks so clean, but I know I must stick to my rules. And I mean, I really couldn't do shit anyways, because after this, the account got blown. But I did not take this on the other account. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this trade recap. Hopefully, we can make back what we lost on the other accounts. Honestly, this week has not been that great for me so far. Nothing for me personally on Monday. It was a bank holiday. Was looking to trade that day, but nothing appeared for me. And then Tuesday we missed out on a crazy banger, and then today take 2 L's and miss out on another banger. Really unfortunate, but it's times like these where you either let it break you or you build yourself on this. And this is definitely a moment where I can look back on and say I'm proud of how I handled this. Didn't do anything stupid, and just kept calm. I know if I trusted my model, all this is gonna get made back times 10. So not tripping too much about it. But yeah, I'm yapping at this point, so I'm gonna go ahead and end this. Yes, that's it. Pretty shit day, man.